Today we go over Star Wars Episode 9, the final film of the sequel trilogy when it comes to the character of Rey. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, as you all know, at the very end of The Last Jedi, it left a lot of Star Wars fans around the world questioning as to where characters of Kylo Ren and Rey will be going and how things will conclude in Episode 9. Now, a lot of people have been talking about this, including myself, about the concept of Rey's death in Episode 9 and the risk and reward for that choice by writer and director J.J. Abrams, and the big debate between many different Star Wars fans about the character of Rey, either A, sacrificing herself, or B, getting killed in the movie that could lead to a good thing for one of our main characters, such as Kylo Ren. Now, I talked about this lightly before in the past, and the one thing that I do want to talk about is Rey's death in Episode 9 and how it could very well have an influence on Kylo Ren's shift to the light of becoming Ben Solo once again and ultimately being redeemed. And the reason as to why I think this would be the reward side of things is that Rey's either sacrifice or getting killed, maybe by, something to do with the First Order that was not directly caused by Kylo Ren. Maybe it gives him a different perspective of exactly what he's doing and the choices that he is making in Episode 9, and could very well lead to him, shifting back to the light and becoming Ben Solo once again and fighting along the Resistance. Now, on the other hand, there's a big debate between all of this, because the big thing is that why would they kill Rey if Rey is such an iconic character, such an iconic hero, especially for a lot of children out there when it comes to girls, and a lot of women actually do love the character, and has actually grown quite a bit as the character of Star Wars and its sequel trilogy. So, to me, I feel like that shouldn't really matter. I think that should be a way of kind of surprising a lot of fans and subverting expectations, is that we all view Rey as the main hero, which she is in the sequel trilogy, of course. But, let's say if they did kill her off in some way, shape, or form, either a sacrifice or getting killed somehow, in order to bring Kylo Ren back to the light and become the hero once again, but in turn, by Rey sacrificing herself or doing something like that, she in turn would be the true hero of the sequel trilogy. It could go both ways. Now, the other thing is that a lot of people would disagree with this, like I said, because of all the different merchandise out there, how Rey is essentially the new Luke Skywalker. I mean, she adopted the Skywalker lightsaber, etc. So, would Disney and Lucasfilm really have the bravery of killing off a main cast member, such as Daisy Ridley portraying the character of Rey? Now, I think it would be a great twist, and here's the reason why. I think that we all expect for Ben Solo to either get killed off, or become redeemed, or something around those lines, right? But what if they really did something really crazy that a lot of fans aren't expecting to see, and that would be the death of Rey? After all, like I said, in the original script by Colin Trevorrow, when he was going over it with Daisy Ridley ended up crying about her character at the very end of the movie. She read the last part of the script about her character Rey, and she was crying. She was bawling her eyes out. And to me, that sounds like that the character got either killed off or sacrificed herself or something around those lines. So I would like to hear what you guys have to say about Rey's death in Episode 9, and whether or not this would be a good or a bad thing for the franchise as a whole. Like I say, the reason as to why I also think that she may be killed off is that I think that all the war conflicts are going to end after Episode 9, and that all of the numbered movies will end, such as Episodes 10, 11, 12, etc., you name it. And that's why they are moving on to other trilogies, such as the trilogy by the Game of Thrones creators, and even the Rian Johnson trilogy, which is said that Disney may very well delay that one, so we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But I think that, if there's going to be no more war conflicts after Episode 9, what would they really do with these characters, right, if they lived on? Because if they lived on, that would leave open the possibility for future episodes, such as a 10, 11, and 12. I think that what they have to do is it needs to be a bittersweet ending where it's both sad and good, right? Both sad and happy. Kind of similar to Return of the Jedi, but really twisting it up really, really well. Where, let's say, you know, if you look at Return of the Jedi, Luke Skywalker lives, he's the hero, but in turn, alright, of Luke being the hero and going up against the Emperor and getting tortured by the Emperor, that in turn caused Darth Vader to shift back to the light and become Anakin once again to save his son. What if they flip this around and do it a little bit different, where Rey sacrifices herself for whatever reason it may be, and that choice could very well change Kylo Ren's perspective on everything, and he shifts back to the light and helps out the Resistance and destroys the First Order once and for all. And maybe in turn by doing this, Kylo Ren also gets killed off. Now, I don't know how you guys would view this, but I think that would be a bittersweet ending where both Kylo and Rey either get killed off, or Rey gets killed off and Kylo lives on, and the Resistance wins and becomes the new rebellion and stays strong throughout the entire galaxy. And that would be the end of all wars. After all, John Boyega did indeed touch on this, that this movie's going to be an all-out war, and it sounds like it's going to be the end of all wars. I mean, really, how many more wars could there quite possibly be in the numbered episode films, right? How far could they really go? I think that it would be a little repetitive if maybe there was, like, another formation of the First Order after Episode 9, like a new thing, if you get what I'm saying. You know, you have the Empire, then you have the First Order. If they do another thing like that, would that be repetitive to you guys? Let me know what you think about this, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.